U.S. government's complete adoption of Xrp and Hbar is extremely near. And folks, I've never been this thrilled to do a video coverage of a news segment. You guys won't believe a lot of the huge news announcements that were going around almost everywhere, and a lot of what's going on behind the scenes right now. Since this is brand new information that was only today, I will be covering it all. In fact, some of this news was just released like an hour ago. And after you hear what I have to say, I promise that you will all be quite pleased. I would like to begin with this. Wall Street has been discussing cryptocurrencies more and more lately. One thing that has caught my attention is that a lot of big companies have recently been discussing expanding their cryptocurrency balance sheets as a way to reduce risk. Numerous businesses are already beginning to recognize that the cryptocurrency market is expanding. They are now beginning to discuss things like how much of our balance sheet should go toward Bitcoin. Is 1, 2, 3, or 5% appropriate? To make sure they have a lot of money and a variety of locations that have a potential of earning considerably better than if they are only holding the fiat dollar. Some are even discussing 10% or more. Indeed, the US dollar is now doing fairly well. Let's be honest though, crypto is performing much better. So let's discuss this. We can observe that Wall Street seems to be recognizing the momentum of the cryptocurrency business. According to the CEO of Morgan Stanley, the main question for us is whether we, as a highly regulated financial institution, can act as transactors. Over the past few years, the majority of banks have been hesitant to support cryptocurrency. The tide is shifting, though, as assets like Bitcoin are booming and attracting increased institutional and even national interest. To determine how we can provide it in a secure manner, we will be collaborating with Treasury and the other authorities. Pick at it. As you can see, Bank of America is another major Wall Street player that wants to fully commit to cryptocurrency. CEO Brian reiterated his readiness to accept cryptocurrency, particularly as a mode of payment, should the regulatory landscape change under Trump's leadership. I do, however, have some rather hazy news regarding that as well. As you can see, the SEC has issued a ruling that will facilitate cryptocurrency offerings for banks. It's happening, and it's pretty much exactly what these huge CEOs were requesting, so this is really amazing. As per the statement, the staff reminds entities that they should keep taking into account the current regulations to make disclosures that enable investors to comprehend an entity's responsibility to protect cryptocurrency assets that are kept for other people. The Bitcoin market may benefit from the SEC's recent rule modification. A market rise may result if banks expand the cryptocurrency options they provide to customers. Following a surge in customer demand, numerous financial institutions have opened their doors to cryptocurrency. An executive order to create a digital asset stockpile has been signed by U.S. President Donald Trump. Investor sentiment increased as a result of the action, and the Bitcoin market had a little rebound following Trump's ruling. In other words, yes, everything is moving forward. They are developing the regulatory environment. They are signing the executive orders. Guys, Wall Street is discussing it, and listen, once these guys begin purchasing the cryptocurrency, I believe that our next big rally is just a matter of time. In my opinion, once these folks determine how much cryptocurrency they want to include on their balance sheet, we're going to see some very substantial green candles. Because really, all of the businesses that are thinking about this have the potential to invest trillions of dollars in the cryptocurrency market. The amount of capital that many of these guys possess is beyond unbelievable. Furthermore, it will surely have a snowball effect, which means that it will have fantastic implications for Bitcoin. Speaking of this, significant events are also taking place in the government. We briefly discussed the executive orders, but we also know that Elon Musk is in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. I also want to talk about some pretty amazing things that are happening there. We observed that, as founder CZ states, all governments ought to keep tabs on their expenditures on the blockchain, an unchangeable public record. In fact, I have been discussing this topic for a while now. Putting all government spending on the blockchain has a lot of advantages. First of all, you are fully aware of the source and destination of all the funds. If all government spending is on the blockchain, it will be nearly difficult to embezzle taxpayer funds. Moreover, it will greatly increase the transparency of government decisions and enable us to examine whether we really need to spend money on particular items. It's difficult to ask yourself, do we really need to spend this money because we don't even know it exists? when people are paying for all of these things with fiat currency and you can't see where the money is going because it's completely off a ledger. Since they are public servants, however, we should all be able to see everything the government does, including what they receive, if we have complete openness, which is a prerequisite for all governments worldwide. The governments that do not want this to happen, in my opinion, are corrupt, compromised, and not working for their citizens. For this reason, I completely agree with CZ's statement, and Elon Musk later announced that he is looking into using blockchain technology in the US government. He obviously wants the government to be as efficient as possible, but how can this be achieved most easily? The goal is to thoroughly reveal all that is taking place before beginning to dissect it. Let's stop wasting money here and make sure this is more efficient, because we don't need this or that. The next thing you know, the U.S. debt situation is no longer a major concern and government spending has decreased by maybe trillions of dollars. We need this in order to restore people's trust in the government. We must increase our efficiency. We need to cut down on wasteful spending, and if we can accomplish both at once, guess what? The economy is about to enter a golden age. That Elon Musk is looking into this makes me very happy. Naturally, prominent and powerful individuals in the cryptocurrency industry will also be discussing this. This, in my opinion, is absolutely necessary. Having said that, I want to talk specifically about XRP because, guys, there are some huge plans going on, some very amazing things. In essence, this is the chief executive officer of the top bank in Japan. Verify the course that XRP is taking. I'll play this video and share my thoughts with you all. It's enormous. Simply pay attention. In actuality, Japanese society is highly focused on money. Remarkably, yes, surprisingly. It is commonly believed that we are rather advanced, but in reality, just 19% of all transactions are digital. I am from Japan, by the way. Therefore, increasing digital payments is actually part of a national plan. In order to boost the proportion of digital payments, the government also pushed banks to innovate. The current domestic payment system, known as the Zenjin system, was essentially replaced by a brand new payments platform or infrastructure in Japan, which we are developing in collaboration with a consortium of over 50 banks and powered by repos. Distributed regional technology can also be used for payments made across borders. This is in contrast to Zelle, which is an amazing company. That's right, it is constructed on top of the current rail. In essence, she is urging all of Japan's leading banks to unite and begin developing the XRP ledger in order to address their transactional issues. I am aware that she speaks with a slight accent. Their goal is to increase the efficiency of transactions in Japan. And this is the current worldwide situation. Isn't this also taking place in South Korea? To ensure that everything is more effective and operating better, all of the most developed countries in the world are beginning to implement Hbar and Xrp for their institutions. And that's what makes Xrp's technology so lovely, isn't it? In the United States, a vast stockpile of digital assets is being developed. CEOs on Wall Street stating that they are prepared to invest heavily in or expand their cryptocurrency businesses. Things are heating up, and I believe that sleeping on the cryptocurrency that is causing all to happen is a grave mistake, particularly the US-based companies that are forging these enormous international alliances. The fact is that when South Korea, Japan, and the United States all incorporate the XRP ledger and Hbar hashgraph technologies into their institutions and payment processing, and they use all